Welcome to the video series Distilled Insights for BT Professionals, where we unpack emerging topics in data and AI governance and management. Each episode offers short, focused insights to help you navigate real challenges organizations face today. In this episode, we'll explore what it means to decide the right level of integration between data and AI governance frameworks. This decision is becoming increasingly important as regulations evolve and organizations seek both control and innovation. In the previous episode, we explored why organizations choose different levels of integration between data and AI governance. We saw that this decision is rarely driven by one factor. It's a mix of strategy, risk, culture, and practical realities. Business strategy and performance goals set the overall direction, while regulations and risks define the boundaries. Organizational culture influences how change is accepted, and technology determines what's technically feasible. Resources, both people and funding, often become the deciding element that turns intentions into action. Together, these factors shape how each organization approaches the balance between control, innovation, and compliance. To decide on the right level of integration, an organization needs to go through several essential steps. This slide outlines 8 high-level steps that guide the process. We'll consider them briefly in this video. In my book, Aligning Data and AI Governance, I describe this as a structured decision tree that helps organizations make informed, well-balanced choices about integration. The journey of integrating data and AI governance starts with understanding the organization's strategy and culture. A frequent obstacle is that governance teams rush into frameworks without linking them to real business goals or daily behaviors. When that happens, governance becomes a formality rather than a driver of value. To avoid this, explore what truly shapes your organization, its strategic priorities, tolerance for risk, and cultural habits. This understanding reveals where governance can help or hinder progress. By aligning initiatives with strategy and culture, you anchor governance in purpose. The key outcome is a set of business use cases that clearly connect governance with strategic intent. Once the strategic direction is clear, both data and AI strategies must be developed in harmony. Many organizations struggle because these strategies are created in isolation. Data focuses on control, AI focuses on innovation. This disconnect leads to fragmented investments and conflicting priorities. To resolve it, align both strategies under one business vision, defining how data enables AI and how AI, in turn, enhances data value. The approach should reflect your culture, whether it prizes experimentation or accountability. When strategies speak the same language, integration becomes natural. The outcome is a portfolio of data and AI use cases that reinforce business goals together. Every data management design must rest on a solid understanding of data regulations and standards. The main difficulty here is the volume and overlap of requirements, privacy, retention, security, and ethics. When organizations overlook them, they face compliance risks and costly rework later. The practical step is to list all applicable regulations, determine whether they are rule-based or principle-based, and define how to comply. Then you should review recognized frameworks like DEMA, DEMBOK, DECAM, or other industry frameworks for structural guidance. This analysis builds confidence and prevents future surprises. The outcome is a prioritized compliance and framework map aligned with organizational practices. Understanding AI regulations is now essential as they evolve faster than most organizations can adapt. The real difficulty lies in their diversity. Each jurisdiction defines AI risks differently. Ignoring this complexity can stall projects or expose organizations to non-compliance. You should gather all relevant AI laws and frameworks, noting whether they are risk-based or principle-based. You should also assess how internal AI practices compare and where updates are needed. The key outcome is a comprehensive AI compliance plan tailored to your regulatory environment. Integrating governance with enterprise risk management ensures data and AI risks are not treated in isolation. The common struggle is that traditional frameworks rarely account for risks like data bias, poor quality, or not qualified models. When these risks remain invisible, they eventually erode trust and performance. You should review your existing risk processes and identify where data and AI dimensions fit. You should also strengthen the frameworks by embedding risk indicators for both domains. This approach integrates governance into decision-making rather than keeping it as a side activity. The outcome here is an enhanced risk management model that embraces data and AI risks. Once both data and AI regulations are analyzed, comparing their compliance logic becomes vital. Many organizations face confusion because data compliance tends to be rule-driven, while AI governance is more risk-oriented. Without alignment, controls may overlap or contradict each other. You should evaluate both perspectives, principle-based versus principle or risk-based versus risk-based, and decide which pairing best fits your culture and structure. The goal is not uniformity but coherence. This step builds the bridge between the two frameworks, data and AI. The outcome is a harmonized compliance model that connects data and AI governance consistently. The next step turns analysis into action by defining the capabilities needed for execution. A recurring problem is that organizations design integrated frameworks but lack the supporting processes or skills. Without these capabilities, governance remains a concept instead of a working system. You should identify shared capabilities such as metadata management, data quality, model documentation, and determine which should remain distinct. The choice depends on structure, scale, and regulatory demands. Once defined, these capabilities become the foundation for sustainable integration. The key outcome is a decision about the integration level supported by the right organizational capabilities. And finally, clarifying scope determines how far integration should reach, and that's often where uncertainty arises. The common difficulty is finding balance. Too broad a scope creates overload, while too narrow limits impact. Without boundaries, governance initiatives lose coherence and compete for attention. You should define whether integration applies enterprise-wide, within certain domains, or through pilot programs. You should also identify which business data and AI capabilities fall under the scope and how metadata connects them. This focused view keeps resources aligned with realistic objectives. The key outcome is clearly defined scope of integration that guides the work ahead. As we wrap up, it's time to turn reflection into action. You should start by taking a closer look at your organization's strategic priorities, culture, and regulatory environment. These factors will shape how far and how fast you can integrate data and AI governance. Then you should evaluate your current governance landscape, what already works, what overlaps, and where the gaps are. You can use the governance integration decision path we discuss here as your guide to define the most effective integration approach for your organization. Whether your frameworks become unified or simply harmonized, the key is alignment with your business goals. For deeper guidance, detailed steps, and practical templates, you can explore my book Aligning Data and AI Governance, a step-by-step guide to integrating governance frameworks for data and AI management. You can download several free chapters of my book on the Data Crossroads site. You can see the QR code here. You can also watch the recording of my LinkedIn live presentation where I share real-world lessons from the book. The link is right below this video. I also invite you to join my new LinkedIn live talks scheduled for 27th of November. In the next episode, we will review the existing AI regulations. We will focus on analyzing the issuing bodies, the legislation scope, and the differences in legal statuses.